I get these news besides this, man. It's all about some wrestling news I gotta get on to y'all, but I know it's my sister's birthday, man. She just turned 41 today. You know? Yeah, yeah. Last night I had to go fix the issue. Servers, see the Call of Duty servers kept lacking and lacking for some reason. But I had too much going on with playing the game, and I had to make sure I had to play it right way. All of a sudden, there always gotta be connection timeouts. It kept ruining ruining the way I played the game. It's ridiculous. There's one news here that's regarding Jeff Cobb, who was was no longer with the WWE as the JC Mateo character. See, he was already been released previously some months ago. The other one is regarding the former WWE, the chairman. We got one that's we got one that's regarding Jeff Cobb right after he was let go from the WWE, and you got another one that's regarding Vince McMahon, who was a former WWE chairman. I had to do those two newses and the two news reports. I had to do it separately. I had to do one before the other. One, I had to start with the guy who was being released from the WWE, the former JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb. He had called, he calls that his WWE dream job. He calls his WWE dream job, but he admits that the run just fell short for him. Let me tell you about what happened to him. Jeff Cobb, you know what I'm saying? He's an ex Ring of Honor wrestler. He's an ex Ring of Honor wrestler who has run with the WWE. He has run with the WWE that lasted less than a year. But his own assessment of it does not fit neatly into either regret or the satisfaction. The used to be JC Mateo, the former JC Mateo, still had describes that the WWE as the destination that he wanted from the childhood, while openly acknowledging that the experience did not become everything else that he expected. Cobb debuted in May of last year and subsequently presented as the JC Mateo character. The JC Mateo character alongside Joseph Fatu, who had to be Solo Sokoa. Uh, his time with the WWE ended in May of last. It's ended in May of this year. It ended in like May of this year. It's leaving him with a short run in the company. Once that built, he had built once he had once viewed as his ultimate career destination that he would want. And speaking with Denise Salcido, the woman who I yanked the video from over 4 years ago, regarding the scrum from All Elite Wrestling regarding CM Punk trashing Kenny Omega and I think it was Adam Page and Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson. I think he was trashing them. He ended up trashing them in a scrum. So it goes back to 2022. So Let me explain to you about how the dream job did not match the expectation. Speaking with Miss Denise Salcido at WrestleCon, Cobb had traced that ambition growing that goes right here. Let me explain it to you. Let me explain about Jeff Cobb. He had traced that ambition back to growing up as a fan of the then World Wrestling Federation. So, you know that's my dream job. Cobb have said this. He said that WWE's interest has also been persistent, but he rejected the company 4 times before finally accepting on the fifth approach, yet reaching that destination did not automatically produce the run that he had imagined. It's not everything I thought it would be, but who am I to complain? It's not my company. That distinction is central to Cobb's assessment. He is not dismissing the significance of making it to the WWE simply because the run was so imperfect. Imperfect. At the same time, calling WWE his dream job does not prevent him from acknowledging that the reality fell short of the expectation. He, he ultimately retained a positive view of the experience despite believing that there was room for it to develop differently. Could things have gone in a better direction? Of course, but my time there, my experiences, I will cherish, always cherish them. Face paint became a clear point of frustration. Cobb was considerably less positive about one specific part of his JC Mateo presentation. WWE's decision to have him wear the face paint, which was so terribly stupid. His immediate reaction revealed how unusual the direction felt compared with his previous presentation. When they said switch to face paint, I said, "Did you guys watch the product?" Cobb had nevertheless went along with the idea, but the problem was not only how the face paint looked. Wearing it while wrestling and removing it afterward created physical discomfort. Wrestling in face paint was really hard, it hurt. Taking it off, my skin was so bad it was horrible. He just mentioned it already, but we gotta find some more news regarding Vince McMahon after this one. Let me go straight to Vince McMahon. Where's Vince McMahon? Yeah, we're gonna go into his share of the WWE lawsuit settlement is revealed. The news was so overknown. This is some this is some things that I had to read anyway. I put the image away. Former WWE chairman Vince McMahon and his insurers have agreed to pay $42.5 million as part of the proposed settlement of the WWE shareholder lawsuit. surrounding the company's merger with UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. The WWE is set to contribute another $105 million, taking the overall settlement of 14, about 14, $147.5 million. The latest court filing finally puts a number on McMahon's portion after earlier disclosures only revealed WWE's financial responsibility. The shareholders were also critical of WWE's parent company, the WWE parent company TKO Group Holdings, accusing it of making partial disclosures that resulted in an incomplete picture of the settlement being reported publicly. They also argued that the WWE's side of the litigation was moving too slowly toward completing the agreement, that the frustration had followed a filing detailing a dispute between McMahon and his co-defendants over the indemnification agreements involving their insurers. Do I ask, why is this $147.5 million settlement matters for the WWE? Yes, the lawsuit was filed in 2023. That's dated back to over 3 years. For over 3 years, that's what's dated back to. Following the deal that combined the WWE and UFC under the TKO company, the shareholders had alleged that WWE's sale process was not primarily designed to secure the maximum possible value for the investors. Instead, they claimed that the process was so structured in a way that would leave McMahon in a favorable position once WWE entered its next corporate era. Several names, familiar names, yes, several familiar names that became tied to the case. Uh, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, whose real name was Paul Levesque, Michelle Wilson, and George Barrios were among those people have named in the lawsuit. McMahon, Nick Khan, Levesque, Mark Shapiro, and the head guy of TKO and Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, were also among the executives expected to testify if the dispute reached the trial. The defense had faced a serious setback when Delaware Vice Chancellor J. Travis Laster sanctioned McMahon Khan over the destruction of the evidence soon afterward. Both sides reached an agreement in the principle to resolve all claims against the defendants, taking a potentially revealing courtroom battle of that was off the table. Yeah, let me read this again. Taking a potentially revealing courtroom battle off the table. The significance goes well beyond another large legal payout. The lawsuit placed the process behind the WWE's historic transition into TKO under Legal scrutiny. The 2023 transaction that ended the McMahon family's decades-long control of the WWE and permanently changed the corporate structure surrounding the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. McMahon's $42.5 million contribution now fills one of the biggest remaining gaps in the settlement story. While the disagreement was over the insurance and the indemnification, it still needs to be resolved. Like th. Yeah, it's bad for him. So So bad for Vince. It's so bad for Vince. Okay, we're going straight to. We got some news right here regarding. We got some news regarding Brock Lesnar. The WWE Hall of Famer reveals Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar over Family's touching backstage moment after SummerSlam match. It's a picture of Over Femi uh, in Brock Lesnar hugging. This is after their match in the Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam. See, the WWE Hall of Famer reveals that they're touching tribute, their touching backstage moment after the match at SummerSlam that appears on there. I'll explain to you about what happened here. Uh, Hall of Fame wrestler uh, Mark Lamonaco, who's also known as Bully Ray and Bubba Ray Dudley, he had got to witness an incredible moment that was shared by Lesnar and Femi after the Beast Incarnate's retirement match at this year's WWE SummerSlam. I think it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The news I had to read here. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, that was a part of the now WWE Radio. Uh, Ray had alleged that he was in Lesnar's locker room, reminiscing with the Beast and Paul Heyman after his match against Femi when the ruler came knocking. When I went to Brock's door, I went to Brock's door and I knocked on it, and Brock opened it up. And Brock opened it up and greeted me with a big smile and open arms and blah blah blah. He recalled and said that we just stood there. He had closed the door behind him, and we just stood there in his locker room and we were talking. We were reminiscing. Paul Heyman walked up to us. Paul E. Dangerously himself, man, walked up to us, walking up to us and me. And Paul hugged. We all have a history with one another. There was a knock at the door, but he continued by saying that, and when Brock Lesnar had opened that door, who was on the other side? Obafemi. Obafemi. And why was Obafemi coming to Brock Lesnar's locker room to be thanking him? But he just went and said this in a period. Uh, it warmed Bully Ray's heart by seeing Femi thanking Lesnar in an old school type of moment that this helped restore some of the faith that he had lost in the business over the years. As we talk about the retirement match for Brock Lesnar against Obafemi at WWE SummerSlam of this year, Lesnar and Femi had the rubber match. They had the rubber match in their feud at SummerSlam 2026 that their series was so tied at one apiece. It's heading into the event. The SummerSlam match was like a Hell in a Cell bout, adding extra brutality to an already physical feud. Lesnar did pull out all the stops by even hitting the Undertaker's tombstone pile driver on the exposed ring canvas. Ultimately, the ruler came out on top that he hit a fall from grace on the Beast Incarnate for the pinfall by beating him. Afterward, Lesnar called Femi the future and announced that his retirement. He announced his retirement a couple of days later. What does this have something to do with Blake Monroe and Tom Brady, dude? This has had to stop with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is an ex football player. Why you want this man to step in the ring? Do you really want this man to go step in the ring uh, with uh, with Logan Paul? That's just rhetoric. That's just some sort of rhetoric that you can't even keep buying into. That's just beyond stupid. Let me go find some more news. I have to keep reading into, man. Let me see. Okay, we're going into some more news regarding this legendary wrestling announcer James William Ross. Let me explain to you that he acknowledges his career may be over with the brain surgery on the horizon. This is a picture of Ross. It's a picture of Ross yeah, it's a picture of James Ross right here with the cowboy hat. But he's like Oklahoma through and through. He's like the good old boy, but nobody else even call him that for nothing. Yeah, let me go read this to you again about this here. Um, Wrestling announcer and commentator James William Ross has said this week on that could be his AEW contract will be ending soon, and he just started adding that his announcing days may already be over. It's coming to an end. On the Thursday episode of his grilling JR podcast, the legendary commentator has said that while he wants a proper send off into retirement, he would accept his fate if his AEW boss Tony Khan decided that his services were no longer needed. Before he and fellow co-host Conrad Thompson, who was the son-in-law of he's like the son-in law of wrestling legend Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? Uh, that guy, they both got into the subject that his contract, that Ross's contract that may happen. But see, the thing is, they spoke about Ross's health. They spoke about Ross's health. The WWE Hall of Famer had missed let me say that he has missed significant times from his 30s from that was on the AEW announce desk that was due to a prolonged hospitalization. But a month ago, but nearly a month ago, probably a month ago, that he returned to his podcast and announced that he would soon undergo surgery. He will soon undergo, surgery to have the excess fluid drained from his brain. He said this is a procedure. He said that the procedure could have helped with his memory and added that he had been found passed out at his house prior to his nearly 40-day hospitalization. Speaking about the surgery on Thursday, JR said that an August 12th date that had been set for the shunt. It's been set for the shunt. And he said this, that I don't want to say I'm looking forward to it, but I guess I really am, to get to that point, and to get it over with, to get it over with. And this is what Ross has said to Conrad. Ross has said this to Thompson by mentioning that I have never had brain surgery before, so they're going to put a, what do they call it? A shunt. So I'm getting a shunt put in my brain. They said I'm only going to be in the hospital a day. Yeah. See, Ross is pushing to work AEW's All In event that was on August the 30th of this year at uh at London, England's Wembley Stadium. And he noted that his contract expires sometime this month, and he would thus need some kind of new negotiation. However, he acknowledged the possibility that his broadcasting career has possibly already ended. And he said, I hope that my career ending is planned, and so I don't just show up one Wednesday night on Dynamite and say, "Well, I got some news for you folks. I'm done." That might sound cool and edgy, but I would like to be able to know that I'm leaving. I think that's important for my psyche, for my psyche. And I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it wrongly. But in any event, that's what I'm thinking. Just have a good clean ending. Have a good clean ending. That's what he said. Just have a good clean ending. But Ross had continued and said this: I've had a blessed career. I've had a unique life. And I realized that it's coming to an end. I get it. If you ask me, JR, how much longer you think you're going to do announcing? Well, I think my contract's up this month. So I'm done pretty much. I don't want to be done. But if Tony Khan said, JR, thanks for the efforts and thanks for being here and all that stuff, then I'd have no problem with that. Because what else? How could I how could I be such a greedy bastard? That's what he says. How could I be such a greedy bastard and want more in my career than I've already received? Yeah, he already learned his podcast is saying that he found out that Dory Funk Jr. had died. You know what I'm saying, on the fourth. So he already remembered that man very very quickly. But that's all the history you got, get. There's too many things you got to read here. You had to dip your toes in there. You had to dip your toes in the water, real real good. It's it's a time period that you have to do what other people are doing. See, the thing about these wrestlers and bosses and announcers, you had to make sure that you didn't get no proper time in a send off. We have a send off. Rick Flair, he's already retiring from the WWE in 2008. He's not going to go back to the ring anytime soon. When they retired, they had to step away from the square circle until they had to move on with their lives and their careers. That's how you do it, though. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I just came home with these two big ass boxes over there. I'm about to leave them over there, trying to figure out what I can do with them. You know, for 31 minutes. For 31 minutes, I can think about it all day long. Yeah, I had enough toes to be dipping in there. Just, not enough wrestling news to bring in. Yeah, it all goes within. So I think it's enough wrestling news to do it though. I think that's about it. Yeah, I ain't worrying about Patrick Dooley. Patrick Dooley is the thing about Patrick Dooley. I gotta find what's going on with Patrick Dooley. There's some mention about how he leaves the WWE after becoming a key executive alongside Triple H, um, whose real name was Paul Levesque. Patrick Dooley, his reported departure from the WWE removes an executive who had steadily moved deeper into the company's strategic operations during an 8-year tenure. According to PW Insider, Dooley quietly left the WWE in like a month ago, nearly, I think. His departure was publicly announced and reportedly occurred same around the same period as the other exits connected to budget cuts. Most recently, he held the position of senior vice president of global strategy and creative operations. The significance of the change is not tied to WWE's week to week booking. Instead, Dooley was so described as one of Paul Triple H Levesque's most important contacts on the matters outside the creative department. But especially for Dooley, his responsibilities had extended beyond WWE television. When he joined the WWE in 2018 as the director of what GS means. GS means for global strategy. Before becoming a vice president of global strategy and corporate development in December of 2023 until he moved into the senior vice president of global strategy and creative operations role. His career before the WWE included work for a local software company in California. It's called California Technologies, I think. It's CA Technologies and management consultancy. Yeah, yeah, the man. This let me explain to you about Dooley. Patrick Dooley. His career before the WWE had included work for a software company called CA Technologies and Management Consultancy. Uh, he worked for that guy. He worked for the guy who was uh, a California Technologies and Management Consultancy, who had to be Mr. Oliver Wyman. Oliver Wyman. He holds an MBA from the Wharton School. That background that helps explain why his WWE responsibilities were broader than the television production or the storyline development. His position placed him around the strategic initiatives involving the company's wider business operations, including projects connected to AAA. AAA, some Mexican wrestling promotion. One documented example was Triple A's television agreement with uh with the Fox Latin America sports channel. Dooley was so involved in the initiative and represented the WWE when the partnership was announced. And you're asking why the departure is so notable for the structure of the WWE. Let me tell you something. The description of Dooley as Paul Levesque's principal contact outside creative gives his exit particular organizational relevance. Levesque's public WWE role is so heavily associated with the company's creative direction, but an operation or of the WWE's scale also requires executives dealing with the strategy, corporate development, and the external partnerships. Dooley's progression through several strategic positions that indicates that his responsibilities had expanded considerably considerably since he joined the company. What the available reporting does not establish is equally important. There is no basis to claim that Dooley's departure changes WWE's creative hierarchy, alters Paula Beck's authority over booking, or signals a different television direction. You'll tell me that he was leaving the company. I think he's leaving because of the direction that the company has already followed right in. The company already had reached the direction that they have already been doing anyway. It's done by design. Not done by design, but it's working by at least design. So we have to go follow these directions, a creative direction of where it's going. It's not that bad. You hear anything else? You watch this video when you seeing me reading those reports regarding Jeff Cobb, Vince McMahon, in this match with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, and news about the condition of a legendary wrestling commentator, James William Ross. Hit the like button, and after that, you can go drop a comment below after you're done watching this video. I'm about to be finished with this video. I will turn on the Law and Order channel, and I found out that that channel has been blacking out. So I had to go. See, the other day I had to go to I had to go surf the web on Google, and I found the reason why the channel was not even available on the Roku Live TV guide. And this is what the artificial intelligence mode is telling me. This is what they're telling me. It says that the dedicated 24/7 Law and Order read this again. Read this again. It says this: the dedicated Law and Order free streaming channel is hosted on the Roku channel live TV guide, typically found around channel 501, though the temporary service outages or guide loading glitches, it can occasionally cause it to disappear. See? It can disappear. It can disappear for at least a couple of hours or a few weeks. It'll take a few weeks for it to disappear. Well, it's all right. That's right. That's all right. I can move on to watching the Taj.0 channel and not the Law and Order channel. I can move on to watching that and the American Crimes channel. I'll watch one of those channels. Well, the Law and Order channel can possibly disappear from our TVs anyway. You already blacked out on this on you already blacked out on that TV. Can't watch a Law and Order episode ever again because of it. That's all right. I can move on to watching Taj.0. The channel is already dedicated to a few seasons and the reruns, featuring the reruns of those seasons of that show. It's already dedicated to those seasons and episodes of that show. I can watch that all day if I had to. I can do that. And though I'm about to go in the stream, I had to make sure I didn't get no time to inform people that I was so under the incandescent pressure. You know what I'm saying? That I had to go through. Watching other documentaries to get through the day. I had to come back home, TV ain't plugged, so I got to plug the TV right onto the monster power you know, not the extension cord, but it's It's a little mini surge protector, so it won't be having any more problems like that again. So luckily, I can watch TV while I got that thing plugged right onto the Monster Power surge protector. But it's probably like 45. It's probably like 45 minutes. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Peace.